Hello, how's it going? Today is the 16th of April 2020, Thursday. As always, I'm coming to you late at night, so technically the next day, but you know what I mean. It's like 2 a.m. But yeah, what did Thursday bring to us? I woke up with a nice text from my friend Sam, just asking me how I'm doing and how I'm feeling and stuff about everything, and it made me think because weirdly I feel like in the past couple of weeks, maybe in the past week at least anyway, I've been feeling a little bit more at peace with the situation. And I put a tweet about it on my Twitter as well a couple of hours ago, just because I'd been thinking about it. It made me think, and I feel like other people seem to be feeling the same. Not everyone, obviously everyone has their own stuff going on, and you know, you can't expect everyone to be feeling the same always, but I feel like because it's been like, for me it's been over a month, just over a month since I've been self-isolating, and the first few weeks was really hard. I mean, it still is, I'm not gonna lie, but it's weird because it feels like I don't know really how to say it. I think it feels like life weirdly is starting to feel just a little bit more normal, even though it's obviously not normal, the situation that we're in. I think we are just maybe getting more used to it, maybe we're more used to this whole new normal, like this weirdness that we initially thought was crazy and like, whoa, how do we deal with this, is now slowly starting to become more normal to us because we're getting used to it. Doesn't make it any less difficult or any less sad, because what's happening is obviously still sad. It is a tragedy. I've said it before. We're living in a tragedy right now. There's no denying it. I think anyone who tries to pretend that this is absolutely fine and whatever, or like see people who seem to think that people are making a big deal out of nothing, no. This is a tragedy. It's a sad thing, and we just need to go through it. But like I said, when I started to think about the question of like how I've been feeling, I was like, yeah, I feel like I'm a bit more at peace with the situation. Yeah, I feel like I've just accepted it now. I've accepted that this is just going to be how it is. This limited life that we're going to just have to get used to for the foreseeable future. And it's almost like, I don't know, like the different stages of grief that people talk about. And I think weirdly, we have all had to also grieve this situation. It might not be like a regular grief. It's not like this. It's not like someone's died. I mean, a lot of people have died, but not everyone has had someone die that they know yet, thankfully. Hopefully more lives can be saved because of this, but basically we're just grieving the situation. Everyone is, I think. And so I think maybe that's why I've now reached the kind of acceptance phase, if that makes sense. Maybe, who knows, like who knows what's going on. I'm just telling you what I've been thinking about today a little bit. And like I said, from what I put on my Twitter, a few people that follow me seem to agree with the situation. The UK announced earlier that they're going to be extending the lockdown for another 3 weeks at least. Not that I was expecting them to suddenly be like, hey, like, go back to normal. I completely expected it, but it was like officially announced today. So another 3 weeks at least officially. That takes us into like the beginning of May, like the first week of May, I believe. Let me just double check on my phone. Yeah, the 8th of May. Roughly, which takes us further from like basically between now and 3 weeks after this. We have, I think, a couple of bank holidays coming up as well, or at least one for sure, which normally for people in the UK is like a big time to go out and celebrate or go traveling, or I don't know, just kind of go out and do stuff. Obviously they can't really do that now. I'm sure there will be some people who are just going to break the rules as always and just ignore the government guidelines, but I think it's actually important that they've done this. They've announced this lockdown and they've extended it, because otherwise, who knows, some people would have, like people would have just gone out for the bank holiday weekend in a couple of weeks and could have spread the virus a bit more. So yeah, I think, like I said, I have just accepted it now. Like, this is just going to be how life is. Somebody posted on a Disney World fan page, I think. Maybe it was a Disneyland Paris fan page, basically a Disney page that I'm a member of on Facebook. They're very active at the moment. They always are at the moment, I think, because everyone's at home. Somebody posted about like the fact that their birthday is, I think they said, on the 26th of July or something like that, and they were just kind of asking if the rest of the people in that group think that things will be back to normal by then. And I replied to that because my birthday's on the 29th of July, so just a few days later, and I was just like, hey, like, I'm also in a similar boat to you. My birthday's not long after you, and I basically said that I don't think that things will be back to normal by then. I think hopefully like the lockdown situation will be not as extreme. Like the restrictions would be lifted a little bit by the end of July kind of thing, hopefully, you know. But I'm definitely not expecting being able to like have a massive party or something. And I think I said something like, even if I'm able to just go to a local restaurant in my area with a few friends, I would be extremely happy with that situation. To me, that would be like the best case scenario. So I don't want to like even wish for anything more than that. Meanwhile, like realistically, I'm actually thinking that I will probably have to spend my birthday in lockdown, because I always like to have my expectations low in case, so then in case like when things do end up being better than what I expected, then it will be a nice surprise, rather than like me like expecting things to be phenomenal and then being disappointed. I think I've always been like that. I don't like setting up like high expectations for things, generally speaking. I don't know what that says about me, but with a situation like this, especially because nobody knows anything, I think it's just best to assume. Again, people can have their own ways of dealing with it. For me, I've just decided to just assume that things will be very weird for the majority of 2020. Definitely until like the end of summer, I think, but possibly extending after and beyond summer as well, because who knows what the colder months of the year will bring, like nobody knows. So I think when you think of it that way, then if suddenly, like, I don't know, some drug comes along, or I don't know, something happens that like means things can go back to normal a bit sooner, then I'll just be ecstatic. I'll be extremely happy. But I think maybe that's why when my friend Sam asked me earlier about like how I feel today, I realised that I haven't been feeling quite as sad as I have been feeling the first few weeks of this situation. But again, I know it's a roller coaster of emotions, so like it can go up and down. But generally speaking, on average, I've been feeling a bit better, and I think it has a lot to do with acceptance. Just accepting that this is it, and just slowly getting used to it as well, because we have no choice but to get used to it. So now I have a bit of a routine. Like I've kind of, in the past 10 days especially, I think I've kind of developed a tiny bit of a routine with my family, like in terms of like what I do when I wake up. And you know, I've been reading a lot of books, and I think when I wake up, that gives me like excitement, knowing that I've still got like my books to kind of read and, you know, go continue with those adventures. You know, I think I'm starting to cook a little bit more as well. I think the little things like this are helping. I'm really not leaving the house at all, which I know like we are allowed one exercise a week, but for safety reasons, living with my mom and stuff, it's just not worth it. It's not worth me doing it. It's also not worth my mom getting stressed about it. She's okay obviously with me leaving to go to the supermarket and stuff, but she would prefer me not like just going for a walk every single day, you know. So I just feel like I'm okay with not doing that. It's not like ideal. That's the one thing I miss the most, and it does make me sad and a little bit jealous maybe when I see my friends who like live outside of London or in the countryside, or places where it's a lot less, like it's a lot more quiet and a lot less busy, and there's like fields around them and there's not as many people and stuff. I mean, I know that obviously London is on lockdown as well, so the few times I have gone out I haven't seen too many people, but I don't live by a field, you know what I mean? Like I can't just go out and straight away be in an empty area. I will have to go through streets and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, it's just one of those things. And I feel like if I had a garden, that would be nice, you know, little things that I don't have, but I have to deal with it. So I do miss that, and I think very slowly I'm gonna start to like introduce exercise into my new routine in the house as well. I think if I don't know what kind of exercises I can do, but I think my brother does daily exercises. He mainly does like strength exercises, you know, muscle stuff, and like, although he does do some cardio as well. My main interest is cardio, because that's what I normally do when we're not in lockdown. Like I walk and I run, and that's kind of what I mainly do. So I think when I introduce that, I'll feel better as well. But that is, I guess, kind of the main point that I wanted to talk about in this video today, that I think that I personally am feeling a little more adjusted to the situation now. Not saying that doesn't mean I'm not sad. I think, especially like even earlier today, despite generally feeling much more okay about things and just kind of being used to things and feeling like this is now the new normal and accepting it. Earlier today, I think I just had a moment again where I was like, what if this isn't over even by next year? Because there is a chance that it won't be, you know. The only thing that will definitely end this is a vaccine. So yeah. I watched an interview yesterday with someone on CNN, an American doctor, and she was saying, or not like a doctor, an American scientist who was saying that they're hoping to like have a vaccine ready by next March and have everyone vaccinated by March of next year, but that's their hope, and that's only if everything goes right. It did give me a bit of hope, because I was like, I mean, if that works out, then that's great, because then it means, like I said, when the vaccine is out and it's like proven to be effective, then things can go literally back to normal, like literally back to how they were. Before that, even when these things do start to reopen, they won't be exactly like how they used to be, because people will still have to some degree, social distance and like be careful and like maybe wear masks. It still just won't be fully like the world used to be, you know. So that made me a bit like just sad a bit, but like it's just how it is, it's expected. About an hour before I started filming this video, I saw a video that McFly put out. Now, if you don't know who McFly are, they're one of my favourite bands of all time. I would say they're probably my top favourite band. I've loved them since 2004. That is a long time ago. I literally have a tattoo here that isn't like, it doesn't scream McFly, but it's fully dedicated. Not dedicated, but like it's inspired by one of McFly's songs. So that's how much I enjoy them. They released a version of their probably most popular song, All About You. They recorded it in their houses, the four of them, obviously in isolation, and put it together, put it on their YouTube in dedication to the NHS and all the key workers that are helping out right now. And the first time I watched it, I literally cried. I did not expect it. Just proved to me how emotional I constantly am. I'm very emotional these days, I feel like. I think a lot of people are, so like I could easily cry with anything. But it was just a beautiful video. It just made me proud to be a McFly fan. Oh, my hair is a mess. And every kind of all the money that they're going to make through this video, because it's on YouTube, so they're going to make some money through the advertisements and stuff. All the proceeds are going to go to, I think NHS, they said, or definitely to some kind of charity to help the situation, so they're not making any money from it. But I just thought it was very beautiful that they did what they know best, which is music, to kind of help in their own way. I thought that was very, very nice, and I'm looking forward to my parents waking up tomorrow, because my mum and dad enjoy McFly, especially my dad. Obviously they're asleep now, so I'm looking forward to showing it to them tomorrow when they wake up. You know, it's the little things, you have to enjoy the little things these days, and for me, just being able to show this beautiful video to my parents tomorrow is going to be something to look forward to. But this is it for today. I'll see you tomorrow.